Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Eagles lose their season finale against the Giants in another pitiful display. Jalen Hurts injures his finger in the process and is yet to throw in practice this week. Has the team hit rock bottom? Is there any hope for the playoffs? What changes need to be made in the offseason? The Birds travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs in the wild card round Monday night. A betrayal on levels no one's ever seen. Star prospect Cutter Gauthier is traded to the Anaheim Ducks for defenseman Jamie Drysdale after the Flyers' 5th overall pick made it clear that he no longer wanted to play in Philly. Drysdale picked up an assist in his Flyers debut on Wednesday, helping the team to a shootout victory against the Canadiens, but has the rebuild suffered a setback? Could Drysdale prove to be even more valuable than Gauthier? What is going on? The Sixers continue to flounder without Joel Embiid, who remains sidelined with knee swelling. Embiid is expected to miss his 3rd straight game on Friday. Can the Sixers get together and remain locked into the 3rd seed, or can the revamped Knicks pose a legitimate threat? The Phillies have signed Ranger Suarez and Jeff Hoffman for 2024, avoiding arbitration with the 2 pitchers. Alec Boehm, Gregory Soto, and Edmundo Sosa remain arbitration eligible and may be signed in the coming days. All that more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Good to be back. Another day, another pod. So it's always good to be back here for that. Thawing out, dried out from the early part of the week with that crazy-ass storm. But other than that, despite being pretty depressed though from the Eagles and everything else that's been going on that way. So from that side of the house, I guess sad, but honestly just numb to most Philly sports right now in a way. But other than that, been pretty okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Not so bad, you know?
it's a new year. It's a new us. Probably not really a new us. Maybe kind of a new I don't know. Anyway, you know what is funny about this year, man? Is people have woken up and chosen violence.
Yeah.
Cat Williams woke up. My man chose violence.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A. Smith woke up yesterday morning, chose violence. One after Jason Whitlock, man. Everyone's choosing violence this year.
Mayor Street's grandson at Sherelle Parker's inauguration party chose violence.
What?
What did he do?
He fought a security guard.
Oh, shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. After the inauguration, they were clearing out.
Why was he mad?
I didn't realize it was that kind of party.
I don't know. I didn't read it like that, but it was at the Met, and I guess he left and got a little upset and he got into a fight with the security guard.
It was his grandson?
Something like that.
So he's like, damn, my granddad should still be mayor 20 years later. I'm choosing violence. But
it's a violent year.
2024 might be the year of violence. Who would y'all choose violence on?
Nick Sirianni.
Fair.
You could name any Eagle,
Yeah,
probably any of them. You know they won't fight back.
Yeah, just throw a dart at the wall and whatever it lands on.
Yo, I'm choosing violence on the PPA, obviously.
Ooh.
Everyone
You gotta have to fight Trevor for that, too.
Yeah, I ain't scared of him. He just got over a hernia
We
surgery.
talked about my shit on the boys in blue, baby.
Trevor got another hernia messing around with me.
And you'll get a ticket. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the year of violence. I have yet to choose any. I'm a peace-loving individual, but can't say the same for Stephen A., man. Did you see that?
That was funny as shit.
Yeah.
He said, I apologize. I love that he set an alert out first and was like, I'm dropping some heavy shit later on this afternoon. I just want to apologize real quick for what I'm about to do. And I was like, what? Because he's been doing some wild shit just up in the past couple of months anyway. So I was like, oh man, Stephen A., what are we doing here?
He's really been unleashed on the podcast because he's not, that's his own thing. He's like no restraints. He can.
No one's keeping him in check at all. And I love it though. I love Stephen A. now more than ever. And then, damn, Whitlock was not prepared for that, I don't think.
Yeah, he's just... His delivery, man, the way he says things with his New York accent, he's just trying to stay calm, but you can tell Stephen A's ready to pop off at any minute.
Yeah.
He's like, that fat bastard.
He said, I won't even say his name, Whitlock. And then just he always is like, I'm not going to ever do this thing.
I'm not going to say his name.
Followed by immediately doing it.
It was like, it's like that Kanye clip where he's like, we're all, I can't say it. It was a Jewish doctor.
Yeah, he's like, I had to call my pastor, Reverend A.R. I forget what the pastor's name is. He said, I have to apologize in advance for what I'm about to do. This pastor was like, yeah, I don't approve of this, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. The whole interview's gold, though.
Oh.
If you have 45 minutes spare, listeners, viewers, just look up Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock on YouTube, and you won't regret it.
It's 10 out of 10. And then after that, you got to listen to Cat Williams because that shit is...
Yeah, if you have another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, as I'm saying, man, 2024, the year of violence. Let's go.
I like it. People aren't holding that shit in. They're just airing it out. And honestly, I'm into it.
Yeah. Just keep bringing it, man.
Yeah.
We're a full presidential term out of the COVID at this point, more or less.
Yeah.
COVID, the violence was dormant. Everyone was trying to stay safe, stay in the house. Then once you got out of the house, you were all loving and peaceful. That time's over, man. We're on to a new year, a new era, the era of violence.
Winter hit hard. Everyone's all like, you know what? I do hate this shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the? I wonder what year it is in terms of like the what do they call it, like the Chinese like horoscope thing?
Oh, like if
is
it's
it
the year of the rat
Like is
or
it
the
the
year
year
of
of the
the-
dragon,
It's
or
the
is it
year
the
of
year
the dog.
of the year of the?
I don't know.
Try to look it up real quick.
What's the most violent animal?
I mean, what's more... Well, you would think a dragon would be like... Unless there's a year of the Pipple.
Yeah. The year of the XL bully. The one that they
The one
like
that's
banned. They like banned it in Britain. Everyone's like,
The year of the... Could be the year of the snake. You know, getting everybody all riled up because there's a lot of snakes out
snakes
here.
Trevor,
snakes are
you're a
rough.
snake, right? 88's a snake, right?
No, I think I'm a dragon.
I think I'm a
You
pig.
wish you were a
I'm
dragon.
pretty sure 88's a dragon, man.
I think 95 is a pig. Y'all know I'm a young buck up here.
96 is a rat. We're not in the year of the rat. The ox.
Ooh, is this year?
Nah.
They're stubborn. They're strong.
What year? Maybe I'm the snake.
What's 2020? What year are we in? 2024? I'm going to guess...
Yeah,
I'm going to guess
2024.
the praying mantis.
Is that one of them?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
so.
Can it be? But that
I
sounds
don't
like it would
remember
be
seeing
tearing
that
people
on a little
off.
placemat at the Chinese restaurant. That's where
They ripped their
know about
mates'
this
heads
stuff.
off, I'm pretty sure.
2023
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the rabbit. It's
That was the
calm,
rabbit. Yeah,
weak,
so we're
docile
past
ass
that.
year.
Makes sense. They was getting all pregnant and
Yeah.
shit. A lot of pregnancies.
Yep, we're in the year of the dragon, dude.
That's,
Oh.
there you go,
And
man.
then Trevor to 88, you were the dragon.
I am
Maybe
the
I'm the
dragon.
snake.
Damn.
I'm the dragon. It's my year again.
Yeah, I'm 80.
This is gonna be my year, baby.
What's 95?
89's the snake. 95. Let's see, what is 95?
I don't know. I thought it was a pig.
You might be right.
I do like pork like that.
Damn, you can't be eating your own kind, though. That's cannibalism. Yo, did you all watch that thing on Netflix about the soccer team?
Dragons. I didn't yet. I was gonna watch it, but then I saw it was kind of long, and I didn't have time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either.
Where they crash and they eat each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do at that point. We be kind of similar to the submarine shit. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
desperate times.
Yes, it looks like 95 is the pig. You're right, dude.
Oink oink, baby. Hell yeah.
No one's eating their own kind here.
Not like that, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I've never eaten a dragon in my life.
Your dragon
Not
would
even a
probably taste
lizard.
good,
not
though.
even an alligator.
I have eaten alligator, yeah, when I was in
Technically,
New Orleans.
I
Yeah,
guess
ate
that's
some
the closest we could get.
Dude, yeah, I got like some gators, like jerky
Oh, Gator's
at
banging, dude.
Well,
at the,
jerky.
one of those little like swamp tour places, and like the gift shop, you get gator jerky. And then like one night, there was just a dude like on like a street vendor just selling like gator dogs.
Hell yeah.
They were sick.
Yeah, I like gator meat.
Yeah, Gator's tastes like chicken.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's not bad.
It sounds cliche. I feel like every time you have something that
Yeah,
is unfamiliar,
it kinda is
people
true.
say that.
They're
but
similar to reptiles, though, no? Like,
Chickens.
yeah, I think so.
They're
like,
both like
aren't they
dinosaurs.
related to like a T-Rex
Yeah.
in a way?
Yeah,
really?
chickens are related to dinosaurs.
That's why they got them little ass arms. T-Rex do, because
I
they're
guess
like
that makes sense.
part chicken in there,
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they're closely related. Like frog meat, all them reptiles.
I know they say like velociraptors. They're not like they are in Jurassic Park. They were much smaller and probably more chicken-like
probably like
in
chickens.
real life.
Now,
Yeah.
Komodo
Yeah.
dragon probably tastes like ass.
Komodo dragons, those things are fucking crazy.
They eat
They'll
everything.
fuck your ass up.
Oh
They
yeah,
probably don't taste that bad. Why do you
I
think
don't know.
that tastes bad?
because they're so muscular. It's probably just all tough.
An alligator's muscular.
Nah, but they're kind of like lazy a little bit too. They just chill. They're quick, but Komodo dragons just, or what's it called? What was I saying?
Yeah, Komodo dragons. I think is
Yeah,
what
they
they're called.
just seem a little.
Those things are dangerous,
We
man.
might
They're
have to go
poisonous as
poach
fuck.
one, cook it, and eat it.
They're like all muscle.
Yeah.
You ever had elk meat before?
I've had elk.
Elk's all muscle. Elk tastes good.
Is that like?
yeah, but elk isn't like. But it's not like less gamey though than like per se like
Is that
a
like
bear.
what venison is, or is
Kinda.
elk different?
Elk's even tougher than elk's like a tougher venison. I
Bigger.
would say
They're bigger than the deer.
like tougher, like because it's more muscular. It's a little tougher the meat, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
To get the right cut of it. But all that stuff could be kind of gamey. But the right bear meat, bear jerky's good.
I've never had bear.
Bear's
Bear.
good. But, we'll get to that when it's the year of the bear. We'll get some bear jerky.
Yeah,
Or if Nick ever gets lucky with a black bear.
yeah. Nick.
You can hunt them in PA.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's uncle goes hunting for bear. Hey, Nick, our cute designer
Damn.
friend. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't referenced Nick as our cute designer friend in a while.
Had to pull him back
Bear
in real
meat.
quick.
Nick,
Yeah,
let
man.
us get some bear meat, dude. Nick's uncle, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but if you are, man, catch us a bear.
Yeah.
Catch a bear kill a bear for yourself and let us get a couple pounds.
There's definitely plenty of meat to share with a bear.
Exactly.
I think they're big as hell.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot on there.
It's awesome bear rib.
But speaking of dead animals, I guess we can move into
Yeah.
the birds.
Our
Going
eagles.
on into our dead
Our
birds.
dilapidated
endangered
eagles.
species. Yeah, man.
Another pathetic,
Bad.
pathetic. I think this was probably the worst one of the season, in my opinion. There was just no. We've been saying it
juice.
for the last couple of weeks of like, have they hit rock bottom? And I feel like they're just checked out. I feel like if you hit rock bottom, at least like, I don't know, you try at least, and like, okay, they play like bad, they play like shit, and like, okay, they're rock bottom, but they just have no effort or rhyme or reason, or there's nothing out there. And we kind of called this last week where like if they don't have a game plan, that's how you get hurt at MetLife or in any game.
Yeah.
And literally Hurts dislocates his finger on a weird play hitting a helmet. You got AJ Brown, thank God, didn't tear anything, but that had been playoff ending even if we're not doing
that looked
anything
really
anyway.
bad when it first
Yeah.
happened. But
I mean, well, go on. Sidney Brown
Sidney Brown
tear something.
does tear his ACL.
yeah,
He's out.
donezo.
I mean, it's just you're putting these guys in bad coaching equals, unsafe play.
It's like I've been saying, man. Like the coach's priority is to put the players in a position to win and for the team to win. The Eagles coaches not only do the exact opposite, but they've been putting guys in a position to get hurt.
Yeah, it's reckless. And it's honestly just unprofessional. There's no what was I saying before about Sirianni just having like not even just composure or just any kind of leadership that way. Like, yeah, we love it when you're 10-1. You can do the bird gang sign and flap your wings up and down and yell at everybody on the sideline, and it's fun and we love it. But when shit starts getting tough, and he quoted himself this week, so he's like, yeah, they pay me not to win the easy games, they pay me to win the hard games. And like, dude, you can't even win the fucking easy games.
Yeah.
Like, take the reins, and if you can't trust Brian Johnson, then you do something. But if the fact that your OC can't make plays, you clearly can't do shit, you're just making these guys out there hurts, not for nothing. And I know that he definitely deserves some backlash, but he's a young man still at quarterback, leading the team, a lot of pressure, expectations are high, just got a big fat paycheck, and like, you're not setting this guy up mentally for success.
Oh, they failed him.
So it's just, I don't know, man. It mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling after that game.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this game because
No.
by halftime it was over.
Yep.
But the thing that irritated me the most is anyone that watches the Giants knows that they like to blitz.
Wink Martindale does his claim to fame.
Wink Martindale's going to blitz 65 to 70% of the time every game. The Eagles played them 2 weeks ago. What did they do? They blitzed a ton.
Yeah.
They come into this game and start blitzing, and you would think the Eagles never seen a blitz before in their life.
Yep.
Hurts is, some of it's on Hurts. Certainly Hurts is, they're taking the snap and just rolling out right away. But come on, man, where are your hot routes?
Nothing.
Trevor, I think you mentioned that before. They don't call any hot routes.
Yeah, I mean, half the time it's like, I mean, you can certainly blame Hurts a little bit, but it's like, what's he supposed to do when he's getting blitzed? He's at the point where like the ball needs to come out, and he's looking at all his receivers' backs.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Yeah, so I think that comes down to play calling. I think that comes down to philosophy. I guess it was last week, Red, I was complaining about the defensive philosophy. This week, I'm going to complain about the offensive philosophy. Because Nick Sirianni is so focused on explosive plays. Shoot, 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 shoot. Shots.
Explosives.
So he's like his boy Johnny Gans. He's so focused on explosive plays that sometimes I think he forgets, you can dink and dunk your way down the field pretty easily.
Yeah, if that's what they're giving you.
Right. They just don't take what the defense is giving them. They haven't really done that for much of the last half a season.
Yeah.
It's just run 4 verts. We'll run the occasional crossing route, but for the most part, we're just going to send our guys deep and rely on their talent to win, and it's just not working.
And honestly, like the amount of pressure that they're getting too, like you wouldn't expect us to have 3 out of 5 guys make the Pro Bowl in the O-line, 2 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard rusher. Like there's no, I don't know how they made that Pro Bowl or how they have those stats because they haven't shown anything at all. Not even a 100-yard receiver in the last 3 weeks. That's pathetic.
Yeah, I think
it's pathetic. You might have had 75 yards for AJ Brown or
Devontae. A couple guys got
close,
but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
I mean,
since the second Dallas game, no one's made it. Yeah.
It's stagnant. It's been stagnant for weeks, honestly. And you can't. This is the worst possible setup to go into the playoffs that way. Everybody else, even Tampa Bay, despite their shitty ass win that they had, they're at least excited to go in there. Like they have momentum coming in. Every other team has momentum. You got Joe Flacco riding that high. The Browns are looking good with that defense. Even the fucking Houston Texans, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, they won their division and they're going to playoffs. Like teams are excited to go in there. I haven't seen a team in the NFL that has had a fan base that is more depressed about making the playoffs.
It doesn't even feel like there's a playoff game.
It feels like we're back to just week 18.
It's I feel like there's like an exhibition game on Monday.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get hurt, or it's just gonna be. This could be a huge, just dilapidating game. I could see it's getting completely shellacked.
Yeah, the thing, and to go back to like the blitzing thing. I mean, this is why like I'm at the point where I'm kind of just solidly on like the fire Sirianni train, as crazy as that seems like start of the year. But it's just the fact that they just have not addressed it at all season. They know exactly, like, I mean, like, it's just wild because clearly they're having like meetings all week. They're watching film. They see what's happening. I'm just like, what are they talking about when they're looking at this stuff?
Right.
Like, what, like, is it just like, oh, we just need to try harder? Like, what? I just don't get it. And the thing about it is that them like just refusing to address this is not only is it detrimental to winning football games, but it's like organizational malpractice.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get Jalen Hurts fucking killed.
Yeah.
You're face of the franchise, $250 million quarterback. Like they're going to get him fucking killed. And like, yeah, he's more important than anyone on that coaching staff. So as far as I'm concerned, they can all fucking go.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't earned, in the last couple of weeks, they haven't given you any ounce of hope.
Yeah.
They don't deserve our trust.
Like,
exactly. It's
even
like,
if they do come out here and like somehow do beat Tampa Bay, unless they go in a crazy-ass run and lose in the championship game, there's no way that you can even come back and say, like, I've did enough to make this team do anything. You went 10-1. You were the first team to go 10-1 and fucking lose their division. To start off 10-1 that way, I should say.
Yeah.
Like, it's mind-boggling. And they gave you an extra game the last 2 years. You get 17 weeks now, or 18, whatever the fuck it is. Like,
and the other thing too, right, is yes, they did have that gauntlet schedule where they played all those tough teams in the middle. But then we were looking at that back half of the schedule where it's Giants, Cardinals, Giants, thinking, yeah, you should go 3-0 at worst, 2-1. They go 1-2 and get blown out in 2 of the games. And it just paints a bad image of what this coaching staff has done, to the point that unless the Eagles win, I think that coaching staff, for the most part, they're gone. I don't think Sirianni's gone. I wouldn't be opposed to him being gone. If they get blown out, if they get destroyed, then I think Sirianni maybe does go. But if it's a close game and they lose, I think he comes back. But there are some provisions that he has to agree to.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we were talking about this earlier. It might be like another sort of, similar to like the Doug situation, where in the offseason they might have to sit down and be like, you're going to need to like give someone else control over the offense and like install something new and this and that. And I don't know if he's going to go for that. We'll see. Yeah,
he may end up saying like, I'm walking.
Yeah, but to be honest, like he the last year and a half, 2 years, he hasn't really owned the offensive play calling anyway. So like we're keeping him here for these motivational speeches or end of game rants. Like there's no real reason to like
And in the midst of all that, like, A.J. Brown had to have a fucking, like, players-only meeting pretty much begging everyone to, like, not quit on the coaches. So, like, what does that say about Sirianni and his coaching staff?
Meanwhile, the press is trying to paint the picture that A.J. Brown's the bad guy in the locker room. Like, it's just, it's gotten just like so out of hand that it's, and even Kevin Byard made a point that it's like, Tennessee, small market, like, shit that happened in the locker room and that happened in the team, like, never really got out. He's like, Philadelphia as a bigger market team, like, shit just leaks like crazy over here.
Yeah, I mean, Philly has 30 media members. Like, Tennessee probably has 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even Dallas Goddard made a point, too, where, like, you mentioned the gauntlet of the schedule. And, like, once we got through that gauntlet, I think that they, as a team, is what he was saying, like, expected to give up a couple of those games and then make it up later in the season. And they ended up
can't think like that.
They ended up doing really well in that gauntlet and locked in already a playoff spot. And I feel like what he was saying was that, like, once we had that in our head, a lot of the guys in the locker room were like, all right, well, we at least made the playoffs. Like, we're good to go. And that's a terrible precedent to have. But it's also a lack of leadership in the locker room. There's no one stepped up. Even Slay, like, on the field, he's great and helps the defense out with leadership that way. But, Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, honestly, it's kind of depressing to see them not really get that locker room in check. I will say.
Let's be honest. Like,
I mean, they all got one foot out the door, pretty much.
I know, but you came back. My point is that you came back for a reason for this year to potentially go back and do something great again, or at least make a deep playoff run. And you came back. This then eventually hurts the team that you supposedly love. Then, if you want to come back and half-ass it, that ain't gonna help anybody out because now these young rooks are seeing that shit. They don't give a fuck. Then you're not playing your best. You're acting like you don't care. You can only say, well, now everyone's doubting us. We're the underdog now. Bitch, that's totally different than what it was in 2017. Mm-hmm. That's because we should have been number one and we were getting knocked the whole time and we had something to prove. You have expectations already built up. You're not an underdog. You should be the top seed or at least number 2 or 3. Like, this isn't an underdog story here if they pull this shit out. Like, they're just playing to their actual standard, what they've been saying all year.
Yeah.
I'm over the dog thing. If I see a fucking dog mask on Monday, I'm going to kill a dog.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of guys, like, coming back for one more year, like, the fact that, like, Jason Kelsey came back and has been playing great all year.
All-pro.
And
he deserves better, dude.
It's shameful, man.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace.
It's just pathetic.
Like, this is what they've given him.
It's absolutely pathetic. So the only hope is that even if they do, in my head, I don't think they get rid of Sirianni. If they keep it a close game and lose, he probably stays. If they win and lose in the second round, he probably stays. However, if they do decide to move away, I want them to understand that there's so much talent still on this team with the guys that you have locked in for the next year or two. Make a meaningful move at head coach. Don't go out there and get some crazy fucking project or some young coordinator that hasn't done anything yet. Give me a savvy vet kind of guy. You know what I mean? Either a Vrabel or a fucking, even Frank Reich, I'll take him back. Give me someone that is at least a little bit more stable. Because we can't go back to these fucking philosophical plant the seed and water the flower type of shit. It doesn't work.
If you look at their hiring history, every coach, really, I guess, dating back to before Andy Reid, has been someone that's the new innovative guy. Andy Reid was an offensive line coach in Green Bay, and then an O coordinator. We brought him in. After him, it was who?
Yeah, but at that point, he already had a ring, though.
But yeah, like, he wasn't an established head coach.
No, but he had experience on a winning team and a franchise.
But, like, he wasn't a previous head coach, is my point.
True.
Like, so then they bring in Chip, which that was probably a little more outside the box. College coach, brings a system, whatever, does well. Then they bring in Doug, first-time head coach, brings some innovation. Bring Sirianni in. I don't know how much innovation he brought in, so much as he was a new coach. But yeah, I think they've shown that they have propensity to hire these guys that don't really have coaching experience. They don't like a retread. They like someone that brings new ideas. But I don't think that they do a good job of vetting the new ideas. Doug was gone in 3 years. Sirianni could be gone in 3 years. They really need to do a good job of finding the next McVay. You know
I understand, but I think that, like, McVay was found as a, coordinator-wise, like, we're not going to get that. I think that Sirianni needs to stay. That's my take. I think he should stay.
I think he should.
And you should build around him. Stability, if all the great franchises that go back and make runs at the playoffs like that have had a main person at the helm for quite a while, and it would be good for the team, that's kind of a demoralizing move to then have Hurts have 2 different coaches, because he was here for Dougie P for a hot second. Like, it would be good for the team to have stability that way and just give him a good supporting cast of OCDC. Even if Howie or Laurie has to step in and fill those gaps, But I if they get rid of Sirianni and don't bring a stud in, this team's going to be a fucking mess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about the whole Sirianni thing, right? So do you think this talk of him being on the hot seat as much as he is warranted? I don't think that you do, Trevor. It feels like you do.
Yeah. I'm there.
I'm torn. I think
to me, it's like, I mean, to me, like, the main argument for keeping him is just for, like, continuity's sake. And, like, you don't want to, like, I mean, like, Hurts has had so many, like, different, like, offensive coaches, and even going, you know, if you go all the way back to, like, his college career, like, he's had, like, a new system to get acquainted with, like, every 2 years or whatever. So I understand that. I think that's, like, a valid point. But, like, I don't know, other than, like, that and just, like, the fact that, like, regardless of our schedule and how lucky we got, like, that Sirianni did get us to the Super Bowl last year, that's, like, something. That counts for something. But, like, if you get into, like, the nitty-gritty of, like, what has he actually done as a coach, and, like, how has he handled things this year, how has he adjusted, like, there's nothing there for me. I don't know.
I think
patience has been exhausted.
I think that last year you can't just dismiss totally. I think this year sucks for the later half. The first half, no one thought about it at all. So 11 games, we were like, yeah, this guy's like, boom, we could do this every year. We go off 8-0 runs, like, this is fine. I think that it's upsetting to see how the team has kind of, you know, dissipated at the end. But it goes back to the point of, like, stability. And I think that, you know, Sirianni is still a young head coach, still learning, figuring it out. You know, he could be a great head coach one day. But you got to give him another shot. And I think that a lot of it, too, comes down, you can't discredit, too, the players' lack of accountability. And I think that, you know, the offense, I get it, might not be the most, you know, crazy and innovative offense right now, the way that they played, but they literally, all the stats they had last year, the same fucking team. So a lot of those times when you said, like, when he's getting blitzed and running out of the pocket, yeah, their backs to Hurts, or they're just standing there. There's a lot of times where A.J. Brown and Devontae are just standing there with a corner. Yeah. No one's moving. Like, at least
scramble drill, and they aren't doing anything. At least even back with
Wentz, like Torrey Smith and all those guys, Alshon, like, they would make a cut, help out the quarterback,
scramble drill.
And they don't help out Hurts at all that way. I'm not saying that it's anyone's one fault, and it's kind of hard to – the team is kind of such a mess that it's really is hard to point one finger at one specific thing. Yeah. And it's easy to cop out and say, yeah, it's Sirianni's not doing his job. But, like, you watch the game and, like, even Hannah's watching the game going, like, why does Hurts do that every play? Every passing play, it seems like he's run to the right. Mm-hmm. I mean –
I think – to your point, you did bring up a very good point there. You said that he could be a great coach. When the Eagles hired Sirianni, I'll never forget, Jeffrey Lurie said, we're hiring you for the coach you are now, but also the coach that you could become.
Right.
And if you fire him after 3 years, you aren't really giving him a chance to become the coach that he could become, right? So, yeah, is it upsetting to watch the Eagles offense and just to watch just the players just sort of check out? Yes, it is, but I don't think that you can lay all the blame on Sirianni. Some of it certainly is warranted, but I mean, if every coach got fired after they had one bad season, coach turnover would be crazy. There'd be coaches getting fired every 2 or 3 years, which doesn't really happen in any sport, not the NFL. So the way I look at it is I don't think he should be fired. If they get blown out, I think the Eagles might act on impulse and say, yeah, we need to make some moves. We need to make some tough decisions. But if it's a close game and they lose, or if they win and advance to the next round and then they lose, I think he comes back under the provision that, okay, we had this really good offense. Talent-wise, it should have been even better. Nick, here's what we want to do to help you out. What do you think?
I think
if
it makes sense.
If he agrees, great. If he doesn't agree, then maybe they look to give him the boot. But it would just be too short-sighted to just say, okay, you had one bad season against a really tough schedule, coming off a Super Bowl where we know a Super Bowl hangover does happen. Look at the Chiefs, for example. I don't see them doing it. I don't think that it's deserved, but if they do get blown out, then I think the Eagles overreact and just give him the boot. And then he probably goes on somewhere else and has a nice career like Andy Reid. Then we regret it.
Yeah. He can go to the Chargers or any other young team and have a good time, and I could see that happening. But, you know, it's a weird end of year, and I think people are just getting a little... I've been saying it since 3 weeks ago. The team's in shambles, and now everyone else is in shambles, and, you know, it's like the house is on fire. But it really isn't. It's not like we're just trying to piece together a shitty team to see if we can make a run here. Like they could, feasibly, they could somehow turn it around and they could be the team of week 1 through 11 and really dominate, but they just haven't proven themselves that way yet. So, I got to just try to avoid all the fucking fluff between now and Monday of all these, oh, wow, like they're doing a padded practice today.
Oh, I'm not buying any of that.
You know what I mean?
Anymore.
Wait
they
till
lost
Monday.
me with that 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Wait till Monday. We see what team decides to show up, and then we'll know what we're doing here. But
Well, what we haven't really talked about yet is the abysmal defense.
Oh yeah, there's no fixing that defense.
That's the thing. It's like trash. Going into the season, it was like, okay, like the defense isn't going to be great, but as long as they're like okay, and our offense is like a top 5 offense, whatever, we'll be fine. But now it's like the offense needs to be the best offense in the league.
Yeah.
We need to be scoring like 35 points a game, or we're fucking toast. Because holy shit, is this defense bad?
Right, it's still a top 10 offense, but even a top 10 offense needs a 20th ranked defense.
Yeah, just give me something.
And they're like 29th.
26th, 27th, as opposed to being first in sacks, first in pressure, second in picks last year. It's like Baltimore's defense this year. That team is built. They're the first team, I think, or one of the first teams to have the Triple Crown. They have like most sacks, most turnovers, and least amount of points.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest factor that we're not thinking about for this game in the playoffs, though, is the return. Not Big Play Slay, but Dom, baby. Big Dom is back on the sideline for the playoffs.
Maybe that's the
Yeah, he needs a real Sirianni in,
Big
dude.
Dom, baby.
Yep.
We were 10-2 when he was on the sideline. We were one with this whole when the team started unraveling was after he left the sideline, and now he's back, baby.
Yeah, maybe Dom is just like secretly an offensive genius and has actually been the guy like feeding plays to people, and like the Eagles don't want to say anything about that because they don't want people poaching them or whatever. Like,
Big Dom's calling plays for someone.
It'd be hilarious if like next week like Big Dom comes back and all of a sudden they got the hot reads, they got the
Big Dom knows how to be the blitz.
Yeah, they got everything in place. They just need Big Dom on the sidelines being like, yo, call a screen right here.
It's a big factor, baby. I could see it.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, if nothing else, the players will feel more secure, more
feel
confident
more safer
in what they're doing. They'll do a better job.
I think having Slade back, I was really disappointed in the defense last week when Cunningham came back. I was like, oh, maybe they'll have a better run defense. Nah. Still. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, Tommy Cutlets, they all chewed us up for whatever they wanted. Every second and long, second and short, third and long, third and short was just a give up.
Dude, that defense looks so clueless.
So
the first 2 plays of the game, Hassan Reddick dropped
their coverage.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then the third
Unreal.
play, he comes on it was a running play. He gets a TFL. He gets a tackle for loss.
Yeah.
You should have had him on the line the whole goddamn time.
That is the most insane shit I've ever seen.
The second play, they bring Byard on the blitz from depth. He's playing back where the safety is.
Right.
He comes up from depth. Don't you know they run a route right behind him?
Right.
It's like, what are you thinking? He wasn't going to get him anyway
this
from
ain't
back
fucking
there.
Brian Dawkins or Palomalo.
Yeah.
Like, it's, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem with this, like, Patricia shit. It's like, it'd be one thing if it was just like, because they said, like, oh, they're bringing him in to call the plays or whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, that was always very strange. Like, we don't have to go all over that again. But it's just like, not only is he calling the plays, but he's, like, implementing a whole new, like, system.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just keep everything the same.
We're
Like,
too late in the game here, big dog.
Yeah, if it's like, oh, we think this guy has some more experience and, like, knows which plays to call when, it's like, okay, whatever. But, like, he's trying to implement a whole different thing, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
This defense is built around the front 7 applying pressure. We're not a safety blitz team with the way that we're built right now.
Yeah,
and you can't do that shit in week 15 with a newly acquired free agent, a fucking Band-Aid job of a linebacker core, no starting corners except for
Bradbury. Yeah, you can blitz your safeties when you have Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to throw it back a little bit. But you wonder why Brian Dawkins got so many sacks.
Exactly.
Look at his corners.
Right.
Al Harris
Sheldon
in
Brown,
the nickel. Yeah.
Sheldon Brown out there, you know what I mean? Lito Shepherd, all that shit. You got Trotter up in the middle. Come on now.
Yeah, we can't be doing that.
No, we don't have Trent Cole. That was anyway, but damn, when they had Takeo Spikes too and fucking...
man, we had beasts all over that line, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
This ain't it.
defense, oh my God.
But speaking of Patricia, do we want to take a little trip down memory lane?
Yeah, let's do this.
So this was way back in episode 7 of the
April
pod,
26th.
back in April. This was our initial takes on the Patricia hire.
First of all, just why? Why, of all the people? Like, why would you
Yeah,
touch this dude?
I think I might have joked about this the first episode of the pod, is imagining him, just the dynamic with him, Slay, and Sirianni, and just what that's going to do to your team and how it's going to ruin the culture. And just, at the time, I remember saying, I'm very glad that they did not do this. And for whatever reason, they had to turn around and bring this guy in, piss off your defensive captain, and
The only good thing is I feel like Slay probably he does carry more weight than somebody's. This team has so many more assistants that I've seen in the coaching staff. Like, there's an assistant
it's
ball
a very-
boy,
it's
there's
a
an assistant
big,
towel guy, there's like the assistant to the guy that fills the
Yeah.
water bottle for the team. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah, there's a lot of branches in the coaching
Right.
tree.
What does
in
Nick
Philly.
Sirianni do? Like, he just runs around and has like
That's
he's the
interesting
head coach, but he
comments.
has like assistant
He's
offensive.
just a hype man.
Yeah, like,
pretty
and I'm
much
cool
is.
with that.
He screams
Yeah.
at the ref and makes
so cool
faces
with
at the
that.
camera.
I'm fine with that. That's why he's one of us. But at the same time, it's like, what? Do we need Matt Patricia of all guys? Like, what?
Yeah,
This
what
guy
ki-
was an assistant coach, a head coach, sucked at that shit, went back to his daddy, sucked at that again, and then we got
Well,
him.
they were saying too. I mean, they were like defending this by being like, "Well, you look at the guy's resume." I was like, "Have you looked at his resume?"
Right, which one are you looking at?
What the hell? Like, this guy's a perennial fucking loser.
All his teams suck. All his defenses have been
Like,
pretty bad.
remember we put up like 40+ points against him in the
Right.
Super Bowl, and we won the Super Bowl because that guy was coaching on the other side.
Unreal. I mean, he lost his job to a guy that sticks his tongue out every other play. It's like, what are we doing here? But,
Oh, you talking about the
the Belichick son,
Oh yeah, that guy's so weird.
such a weird guy. Damn.
Yeah.
There were some good takes in there, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
Prophetic stuff there.
Towards the end of that, or after that clip that Trevor, you just played, there, we all go on to say at one point or another, yeah, ultimately, I think this is going to be irrelevant. We're going to forget he's on the staff by week 2.
Right, it's like,
not
he'll
going to
just be one of
matter.
these little, like, advisor type of guys. Like, nope.
Little did we know.
He's literally the defensive coordinator.
But there are
I mean,
some-
imagine like how we would have reacted if in the middle of the season they would have just straight up hired him as the DC.
Oh, God.
We've all been losing our fucking shit, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
They
What
just
the
waited.
fuck?
They waited till the worst possible time in the season to do that.
Dude,
but that take on Sirianni, I will say,
Yeah, that was a good one.
wowza, damn, it's true though.
And then at one point, it's like, yeah, he's not actually going to be on the sidelines. Now he's on the
he
sidelines.
won't have that pencil on the sideline. And,
Yep.
well, he does in the rain with
Pencil boy.
a marker board.
Oh, my God, man.
But
Well, at any rate, I don't think he's coming back to be the
fuck
coordinator.
no.
I hope not.
They
man.
would have to be smoking in the worst dope
If
imaginable.
they keep Sirianni, they got to get rid of every coordinator that they signed this year. Let Brian Johnson go wherever he wants to. Let everybody fucking walk except Stoughton University. Obviously, keep him in there, but everybody's got to go. Everybody's go.
I said a couple weeks. I think after the Cardinals game, I said fire everyone except
Yeah.
for Stoutland and Big Dom.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Everyone else out of here.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route.
Chuckle fucks.
If they get blown out, I think that's the route that they take. But
So I guess we have to do
Yeah,
a
we
sorry
go to
ass
the,
prediction.
yeah, we can talk about this game a little bit. The Bucks aren't that great.
Yeah, they scored 3 field goals against the Panthers.
The
last
2-14 Panthers.
Yeah, so they look like trash.
Yeah,
but-
Baker's banged up.
That was a big divisional matchup, though. You know what I mean? So the Panthers are really playing hard.
Yeah, the Panthers are really
Yeah.
banging
Panthers
it.
should have wanted to lose that
Yeah.
game. Well, no, they don't get to keep their pick.
Right, it's the Bears
Yeah,
pick,
so it
so it
didn't
even
matter
helped.
to
It helped the
them,
Bears
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it didn't
playing.
matter to them. But yeah, I mean, the Bucks, I don't think they're that good. I got a couple stats written down, right? So, the Bucks have the 17th ranked passing offense, which isn't great. They have the worst rushing offense.
I couldn't even tell you who their running back is. Is it White?
Rashad
still?
White,
White.
Still?
he was good in fantasy.
I
this
had
year.
him on our. Yeah, he was actually sneaky good.
But yeah, I
Scored a lot
mean,
of touchdowns.
they don't really have a great offense. So, in theory, this defense should be able to force them to be one-dimensional. I mean, they can't really run the ball, right? But in theory, it doesn't work here. I mean, in theory, the Eagles should have won their last
Yeah,
two
in
games
theory, we
handily.
should have beat the Cardinals and the Giants.
Yeah.
In theory, we should be the 1 seed and win the division,
In
but
theory, Matt Patricia should not be our defensive
right.
coordinator.
But
Yeah.
this is Eagles land, and nothing makes
Yeah.
sense anymore. Nothing's math.
Yeah.
This math ain't mathing.
Getting weird.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the defense is going to let us down. The other thing, injury-wise, we know that Jalen Hurts is banged up, dislocated ring finger on his throwing
Philadelphia
arm.
players with these fucking finger injuries, man. I can't stand it
Yep,
anymore.
here
I'm
we go
losing it.
again.
I'm losing it.
Here
These
we
fucking
go
finger
again.
jobs.
AJ Brown looked like he might have sprained a knee or something. Reed Blankenship's out. Injuries are going to hurt us. But I also think if Hurts is really banged up and AJ Brown's not there, they're going to blitz the hell out of us, and we don't know what to do when we're healthy. We're not going to be able to handle a blitz if we're banged up. Todd Bowles is going to blitz.
He's going to blitz
70% of the time
Shaq
again.
Barrett's going to get 3.5 sacks.
Yeah, Vita Vea is going to be all up in that
Yeah.
A-gap, dude. He coming for that ass.
Yeah, he's a big boy, too.
Yeah, that's a big bitch, man.
I like him. Washington he came from.
Oh, he's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
That
But
guy's a big
my
guy.
my point is,
That guy's a big.
in theory, the Eagles should be able to win.
Big man.
In theory, the Eagles should be able to win this game. Line is Eagles -3.
I don't know how they keep giving us this shit, to be honest with you. Like,
Vegas is.
I don't understand.
Hey, weed's legal in Vegas. They must be doing writing these lines when they're high as Christ,
I don't
dude.
get it.
But I'm taking the Bucks outright. I already bet it on DraftKings.
Money
Shout out-
line.
Yeah, I bet Bucks money line. It was like I got in when it was like plus 138. Yes, sir. I got Eagles losing 31-16.
Damn, losing. So you think Sirianni's out of here then?
Yeah.
You were just saying.
Well, I don't think it's warranted, but I think it is. If they get blown out like I'm predicting, I think they're going to act on impulse and he's gone.
Oh, man. Trevor?
Um,
You said 31 what?
16.
God, 16.
Yeah.
so I'm saying this game. So despite the fact that the Eagles have looked atrocious the past 4 weeks or whatever, I think they will win this game and
What?
force us to suffer even more. They're gonna so that we'll all have to watch them, get blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. It'll, that game that's gonna be like watching your own son get like machine gunned to death or whatever.
Oof.
We're all gonna have to just
Jesus.
sit there and watch it. Yeah, it's gonna be supposed to be rainy conditions. I think it's gonna be a really ugly game, sloppy game. No one's gonna be doing much on offense. It's just gonna be gross. I'm saying I think it's gonna push on the spread. I think it's gonna be right there. 17. 17-14 Eagles.
Wow.
17-14 Eagles.
Wow.
We're gonna be talking about it again next week, baby.
Oh, God. I hope not, man. I want to have my weekends back, dude. Or at least to focus on the Flyers and Sixers a little more. Good Lord.
Yeah, I think whatever it is. I mean, it rained last time we played them down there a little bit too. I think Swift has a pretty big game. Hopefully. I mean, he had his best game of the year against them. Their D-line is good with the blitz. Hopefully, if they fucking look at the tape or just anything, you should run against the blitz, not just have your quarterback run around like an idiot. But I still think that as much as I want the Eagles to win, I can see it shaking out where if they do pull this out, fucking rabbit out of the rabbit out of the hat, they most likely, I think, end up...
Rabbit. You say rabbit out of the ass.
Rabbit out of the
That
ass.
classic magician trick.
Well, in the Northeast, we get a guy like that, but I don't know if they come down here like that.
That's when you go to. That's when you go to the after hours magic show.
Yeah, it's just someone's uncle. You're like, what the hell is this? I could see in a world where they do pull this out and they win, and the Rams beat Detroit, and we end up having to go to Dallas and have to lose to Dallas. That would be just miserable.
If we could beat Dallas.
Yeah. But I'm
not getting carried away here, though.
I don't think that's going to happen, and I think it's going to be 27-17 Tampa Bay.
Okay.
That
seems realistic.
I think that they might have a shitty-ass run game, and Avery made a point about making that team one-dimensional. I have a feeling that, sure, we might stuff the run, but I do not trust this fucking pass defense to save our life. And I get we get Slayback, which might help us out, so it's a big might for sure. And Cunningham has another week in him, and it could help to have Cunningham, Leonard, and Morrow, in there doing their thing, I guess. But they haven't given us.
thing.
They haven't really given us any ounce of belief to hope that would be a thing. So sure, they might stop the run, but
Mara's
it's like
thing is getting gassed on it by everyone on the
defense
pass.
hasn't stopped an offense in totality yet, and in the playoffs, you have to shut down the whole thing. Make them throw and then make the throws terrible, or make them run and make the runs only gain 1 or 2. And every time we stop one, they either throw for 400 yards or they rush for 250. So, like, it's like a lose-lose. So I see 27-17 Tampa Bay.
Okay, yeah, we're both predicting a loss.
All right.
Trevor's somehow very optimistic on
Yeah,
this
you
team.
guys are on like we should keep Sirianni, but you think we're going to lose. I'm like we should fire him, but we are going to win.
See, I don't know about that.
Nothing
A lot of
It's
nothing
this
makes
team.
sense.
Yeah, nothing about this
We're
team
in the
makes any
twilight
sense.
zone
Yeah.
with this team, baby. It is what it is.
You know what does make sense, though?
I say we fire Sirianni and then promote Matt Patricia to head coach.
Oh, God, that makes little sense.
Okay.
Yo, what about that lady on the fence?
Oh, what exactly happened there?
So this was Saturday night. She must have seen the future and saw the Eagles were going to get embarrassed by the Giants.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what I thought of when I first read that article, though? I thought of deer. You know how like sometimes they jump the fence by the highway, they hit the fence and they get stuck?
I guess.
Yeah.
You ever seen a deer like that?
Yeah.
It's just wild. That's what I thought of. So I was like, well, how did she... And also those fences aren't like... To
Where
get
did she
impaled...
fall? She like fell
How do you
from
fall? The
something,
fences
or-
are like 7 feet, 8 feet tall. And they're...
Well, she was trying to climb the fence. She was probably hammered.
Yeah, but there's no like foot rails. They're like slots. So it's tough. You ever try to climb? That shit's hard to climb up on.
I've tried to climb fences like that before.
It's not like a chain link, though. You can like climb up like a squirrel.
it's like the iron bar. Yeah.
You got to have some good upper. So she probably tried to hurdle herself and just... And then she got stuck.
And then she just sat there where I guess her friends weren't there because...
Or her phone.
You
Can't reach her pocket.
She must have been just like on... Ugh. But
That's pretty grim.
my point being, man, she saw the Eagles were going to lose. She's like, yeah, this is it. This ain't worth it.
That must be
Yeah.
it. But that's fucking... I mean, just the logistics of that is pretty incredible. Like the odds of somebody
Apparently her
impaling
body
this-
sat there impaled on the fence for hours.
5 hours.
How'd no one see that?
Is this kind of dark sometimes on that
I
fence?
mean, it's
Also,
probably
no one's
not-
really looking...
No, people driving by there. That
But she was around Xfinity. You would think someone would be leaving Xfinity or walking around Xfinity and be like, oh. Or if she was there with friends, they'd be like, oh, she'd been missing for several hours. But maybe they thought she Irish goodbye'd. I'd be doing that sometimes.
If I'm ever trying to climb a fence when Irish goodbye, like that makes that should... I don't understand how this person just happened to go on the fence like that and then do that. It's horrific. Obviously, feel bad for everybody involved. I guess the one person involved, but
yeah.
that just seems something seems a little bit askew there. It's like a True Detective episode. You don't just end up impaling yourself on a fucking fence outside of a bar.
Maybe that's what the new season of True Detective's all about.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yo, True Detective's coming back, dude.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited. That
January-
third season
Jodie
was banging,
Foster.
dude.
14th, yeah, first time 2 female leads like that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last season with Mahershala Ali, that was a
Yeah,
good
that's pretty good.
season,
Yeah,
dude.
I like that one.
First one, we're just rewatching all of them now. We did the first
the
season.
second season was booty.
We did the third season, and now we're doing the second just to get us to the new season. I just can't take fucking Vince Vaughn as a bad guy like that. It's
Nah,
just
that
so
second season
bad.
was garbage. I couldn't even finish the second season.
It's just cringy.
I've watched it the first time, but I've never revisited the second season.
sign me up for Colin Farrell being like a drug addict, alcoholic, bad father. But
I
other
will say that second season had one of my favorite scenes in anything ever, where like, because you know how he has that like kind of like
The kid
who's like fat and gets bullied or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes to like the house of the kid that like bullies him and just brass
Oh,
knuckles
yeah.
and beats the shit out of his dad. And says like,
I do remember this.
And he's like, I'm gonna like,
I'm gonna,
what-
I'm gonna. Oh, what's it? Oh, I'm gonna skull
like,
fuck your mom
with your
in
dad's headless
ass.
corpse
Yeah.
on the shirt. It's like, and the kid's name was Aspen,
Yeah.
so he was like, and he's like, "Fuck you, Aspen." it's like one of the
Dad said
greatest
what?
scenes. One of the greatest scenes I've ever seen.
Oh,
The way that he got
man.
to like the way that he found out his son's bully He was like, all right, tell me who stole your shoes. Like, no. He's like, tell me, you fat fucking piece of shit. He's like, tell me you're bully. And then bullies his son to tell him the kid's name. I'm like, damn, this guy's nuts.
Damn, I gotta go. Maybe I do have to go watch
It's-
that.
I might have to watch it again, honestly.
We just watched the first episode again last night. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. Like,
It was very convoluted.
No, it's not. It's just really poor.
I remember having to,
written.
the last few episodes, I had to, read, recaps to, understand what's, because I couldn't keep it straight.
The first season, third season, impeccable. You understand what's going on, no big deal. This one, I'm like, how the fuck did there's just people die? Like, I don't understand why everyone's even attached to this shit. They're like in a random small city, in a city. I don't fucking know. But yeah, Birds lose on Monday.
Yeah.
Then we can watch True Detective on Tuesday. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out on the
Or
14th.
no.
It comes out on the 14th, I think.
Sunday, I would
Yeah, we
imagine,
can watch it on Sunday. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
okay.
it starts Sunday.
Yeah. All
Build
right.
us up just to break us back down.
Yeah.
I hope it comes out. You think it's going to do episode by episode or the full season?
It'll do episode.
It's HBO.
HBO does episode by
They do it
episode.
They do it the right way.
Yeah, I guess
Gotta
that's
build
fine.
that suspense, dog.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't be blowing your load like Netflix does. Just, but big Flyers news. I'm pretty pumped to talk about the Flyers.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
This is the spiciest.
Oh, yeah.
This is the spiciest
We got
Flyers week that we've had since we started the pod. I think.
We got our JD Drew.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't had
This
anything like
generation's
this
JD Drew, dude.
in any team in a while. So obviously, most of you probably heard this by now. The number 2 prospect for the right behind Mishkov, Cutter Gauthier, who just lit it up in the World Juniors tournament. Had the most points in the tournament. Everyone was getting excited
We
about
gave him a shout out last week.
Yeah, we were talking about it
Singing
last
his
week.
praises and whatnot.
Then Monday night, just during the game, they just announced out of nowhere that he's been traded. Like, what the fuck? So, comes out that he apparently did not want to play for the Flyers.
Yeah, and you know what?
Man, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
If you
fuck
don't
him,
want to
man.
play here, we don't want you here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess there had been sort of some little inklings that there was some issue because he didn't show up to training camp last year, and there was some excuses made that he had a long college playoff, and then he did this and that, and he just
I'm pretty sure we bought into those.
and
months
yeah,
back,
I think
yeah.
I kind of bought into it because I don't know, who wants to believe that one of your star prospects is disgruntled or whatever. But yeah, it turns out there was actually quite a lot to that. So he's gone. He gets traded for Jamie Drysdale, former 6th overall pick, and we also get a 2nd round pick in 2025. That could be a pretty decent pick because the Ducks fucking suck ass.
Yeah.
Suck like a duck.
Yeah, fucking children's movie ass fucking team.
That movie was all right growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, we all like
Yeah.
the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks that they're not just called the Mighty Ducks. Just go all in on
Right.
it.
Right.
Just call yours, But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that Monday night I was just glued to Twitter and all that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
I barely watched it.
Yeah,
Oh,
barely.
yeah.
Who cares about what happened to the game? Doesn't matter. We lost. The Penguins were really good that game. But it was just a roller coaster of at first it was just it was shock, and then confusion, and then anger,
Yeah.
People were very
and
mad.
but then finally excitement.
Yeah.
Because it was you know what? The more I hear about this guy, Gauthier, and the reasons or the non-reasons why he left, you know what? Fuck him. Feels like we kind of dodged a bullet
Yeah, guy's a pussy.
in a way. Yeah, and most importantly, we got a new enemy in town. We have a new we have
yeah.
Yeah.
because and it was funny because we were watching that. I was watching the Penguins game, and it's this rivalry doesn't really have the juice it had anymore. Crosby, who really cares? He's at the tail end of his
They're
career.
old.
Yeah.
Exactly. I said this the last time we played them.
Yeah,
They're
and it's
old.
just
It doesn't
whatever.
seem the
So
same.
we finally have a new villain. We're not going to see him as often because he's in the Western Conference, but it's nice to have a new, a new real blood feud.
Yo.
And we have a direct correlation to the feud because we have the guy that you did a whole player trade that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice to have fucking the new guy just level that bitch ass too
Yeah,
when he comes
yeah,
into
the
Philly.
D-
Oh my god,
Yeah,
they
the
did that at
D-man
home.
levels the
I will
forward.
definitely. I can't wait to get.
That game would be. That place is
That
going to go
game's gonna
nuts.
be lit, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, when the schedule
someone
comes
coming
out
out of the
next
People are
stadium.
gonna be throwing batteries.
Someone coming
Like
out of the
JD Drew all
Yeah,
over again. I'll be
fuck it.
there throwing D batteries
Yeah,
at his
I'll
ass.
throw a fucking brick.
Car
I don't give
battery,
a shit.
dude.
Yeah, I'll kill his whole family. I don't give a shit.
I'll take 10 packs of 9-volt, just be bombing him.
I'll fucking kill his
dude.
pet dog. I don't give a shit. No, yeah.
He has me getting death threats.
Like, yeah, I mean, well,
I'm playing.
you know,
I'm playing.
We don't want to do that. But,
I'm playing. But-
Trevor, you were the one that, as soon as the trade happened, posted in the group chat with a picture of a gun and it tweeting at Cutter Gauthier.
I didn't post the tweet because I knew I would get suspended.
Yeah,
But
I'm
look,
sure some people did.
we're all joking around.
But,
But yeah, man, like.
It's a roller coaster of emotions for Philadelphia sports.
I mean, the
this
thing
week.
is, like, okay, like, here's the thing. Like, if the guy, like, I mean, this is one of the risks you take when you draft college players. They can, like, just kind of wait it out. And I mean, at least they you know, took the initiative and got a good value back for him. Like, some of these, in the past, like, there's some teams that have waited out and they just, like, become free agents and they just lose them. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
Well, he'll never be as, a hot commodity as he is now, coming off of that.
Right,
big
exactly.
win,
They traded him at exactly
That's
the right
what I
time.
think Keith Jones
Yeah.
even said.
Yeah, there was never. He
Even-
wasn't going to have any higher value.
You know what I don't appreciate, though, and I understand that he's a young buck and all that. Like, people are a little, sensitive and all that shit when it comes to being, like, a college player. And, like, maybe he's young, not ready for the big thing and this and that. But, like, don't be ghosting the franchise like that. Like, you can't you can't even answer a call. Like,
Well,
that's just bad.
That's just being dumb
But
and
you
immature.
also, as a professional, like, you never know who could be in the room whenever you try to go somewhere else. And, like, now that you have that fucking shtick to you of that, like, when you're unhappy as a fucking 18, whatever the fuck old he is, like,
Yeah.
you're just going to not respond to a GM of a
Like
franchise.
if you have some like reasons, whether they're good reasons
Yeah.
or bad reasons for not wanting to play, like fine. But like, be a fucking man. Like,
Right.
sit down with the people and like tell them that to their face and explain it to them.
Or just answer
like,
the fucking phone. That's all it takes is
it's
a phone
insane.
call.
Like, John LeClaire, Patrick Sharp went to visit him like after a
yeah,
Boston
they went
college
out
game,
there to Sweden.
Yeah.
and he goes to them then. Sent his fucking coach out to tell them that they didn't want to talk to him. Like, that's just, I'm sorry, it's like fucking bitch shit. And then they fly all the way out to Sweden during the tournament this past like week or so, and he doesn't want to meet with them then. And it's just like, dude, like, I mean, that's like,
He's just
a lot of times, like, I think that, like, character issues are overblown with, like, young guys like that, but it's like, that is a red flag.
Especially
Yeah.
after getting drafted, being like, I can't wait to play. Like, you,
Right.
you didn't just say, like,
Why'd you
didn't,
make a complete
right.
180?
You didn't keep it quiet.
Yeah.
You were, like, sucking Philly's dick when you got drafted.
And it's like the fact that they're just him and his agent refused to reveal like what the reasoning was behind this. It's just like, well, people are just going to speculate about it then.
You see-
So like whatever people are going to say, they're going to
this
say, and
market's
that's
going
on
to chew
you.
it up,
Like,
and we're going
as
to
long
build
as
that
you-
shit up.
Yeah, as long as you don't come clean and just say what happens, people are just going to assume the worst, and that's your fault.
Well,
man.
you seen him do an interview. He was like, well, I just want to keep it personal this is between me, my agent, my family. It's a personal matter.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy.
It's like, bitch,
Yeah.
miss me with that, dude.
Yeah, fucking.
Then he's
man,
not
just-
he would not. then he
That's
would
what I'm
not
talking
fit here
about, man.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
ain't
I'm saying,
made
to
for
dodge the bullet. Like, I mean, this could have been another like Pierre-Luc Dubois situation with fucking torts. Like,
Yeah, you ain't
Yeah.
made for this city, dude.
and like
you
they
can't
were, and
handle
like
it.
there's been all this speculation. Like, was it like he didn't want to play for torts? Which is, I mean, I don't. I mean, that's like if just having like a coach that yells sometimes and practices hard is enough to like deter you, then fucking good. I'm glad we have a coach that filters out all the like weak little bitches. If that's the case,
Right.
Then like good, you know.
So yeah, there's Charlie O'Connor posted this article about the trade and some of the theories as to why Gauthier didn't want to sign. There's the Kevin Hayes angle, which we'll get to that. You've got that clip, which
Oh,
we will
yeah.
get to in a moment. But I won't read that part of the article. Hayes, for what it's worth, Charlie reached out to Hayes. Charlie, who covers the Flyers for PHLY. And Hayes said, strongly denied it. I have never said a negative thing about torts or the organization to Gauthier in my life. So the Kevin Hayes angle is out. The Tortorella theory, you've already touched on. But then this one's interesting. So Scott Hartnell, like moments after the trade, or maybe after the game ended on Monday night, his theory was that Gauthier wanted to sign his entry-level contract after his freshman season, and the preference on the part of Briere and the Flyers to have him return to school for one more season was the driving force behind Gauthier souring on the organization. It would fit the timeline of Gauthier's apparent change of heart, and maybe after tearing up where are we at here? World Championships largely against professionals, Gauthier returned home, especially frustrated that he is not yet locked up to an NHL entry-level contract despite proving his readiness for the next level. Another possibility is that the turmoil within the Flyers organization in the spring and summer 2023 played a role. Chuck Fletcher, who drafted Gauthier, was fired. The chairman of the team's ownership group was ushered into retirement. New faces in charge announced a looming rebuild. Maybe from the outside, the Flyers looked to Gauthier to be an organization in chaos and one he wanted to avoid. I think that last point's probably noteworthy. I mean, it's stupid for him to think like, yeah, this team's fucked, I'm out.
Yeah, especially like
he's not going to a team
why do you think he got drafted 5th overall, buddy? Like, the team's probably not in a good place right now. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's wild to me that like he would have been comfortable just riding it out with fucking Chuck Fletcher. Right. But then, like when the team actually like gets new people in the front office, is actually turning a page, committing to like building something that he's going to be a big part of. That's what sours you.
And knowing Mishkov's coming over.
Right.
Yeah, like you would rather just be on the
pissed him off a little.
You'd rather just be on the Chuck Fletcher, just like a guy who's just fucking flailing to save his job every year, like being like a bubble team. That's what you wanted to do?
And you're going to Anaheim. You're not going to be in a team that's going to be in any better position.
You're in a worse off team. For a while. Yeah.
And like maybe it is the money thing in that second segment that I brought up. But even still, it's like, dude.
But even if that was the problem, even if like whatever one of these things was the problem, just fucking say something about it.
Right.
Like, just like if like the whole thing with like him not getting an NHL contract because like the Flyers didn't want to take like a go above the cap and all this kind of thing. Like, okay, like that's whatever. Like, I guess like if you want to be mad about that, that's like legitimate. Like, that's fine. But like if his agent had like called and explained this, I'm sure they could have worked out something.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's just like to just be like a fucking petulant little child about it and just like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm mad.
Yeah, just like, being a little bitch. He sounded like such a bitch in the interview, dude, I saw, too.
Like Torch says, this team's got balls. This kid's got no balls. That's what it comes down to. You didn't want him for no balls.
But the Kevin Hayes thing is funny. Like that was like Anthony Sanfilippo who like, you know, aired out this whole theory that quote Kevin Hayes fingerprints all over.
Yeah,
dude, this is the thing. Like. And like I don't want to like
do it.
You know, get into like, you know, talking shit on other podcasts.
I think this is the one we would have to.
But like, here's the thing, man. This kind of is brings up kind of like a broader issue with the fact that like sports journalism and like content creation are just becoming like blurred and like the same thing, and a lot of times it causes problems because I'm sure that like their Snow the Goalie, the Crossing Broad podcast with him and Bundy and that other fucking guy. I'm sure they were loving the fact that 10-second clip of him saying Kevin Hayes' prints are all over this was going wild on TikTok and Twitter and all this shit for however many hours it was. But then, like, there's going to be when it gets into the point where it's like, oh, you're supposed to actually be like a journalist and have there's supposed to be some ethics
sources
to that, and you know,
the journalistic integrity.
Then it becomes a problem, and it's like, you can't it's hard to fucking you know, thread that needle, and you're in like dangerous territory. And now like Torch fucking hates their ass.
Yeah, any press conference they show up to, Torch is just gonna have fire in his eyes looking at these guys.
Yeah, I don't have the full like him dressing him down, but this was my favorite part of it at the end there.
Is that silly podcast you guys do?
He sounds Italian as hell, man.
Like,
dang.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like. I don't know, man. It was fun. I feel like that was the first real towards like blowing up at the media that we've had since he's been in Philly. Like we've been waiting for it. We finally got it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing he said in the past couple of days was the game we lost to Pittsburgh where they're to ask him about the trade. He's like, I don't know Cutter Gauthier from a hole in the wall.
Well, that's the thing too. Like it doesn't feel as bad where. At least, like, we haven't had this guy play yet for us, But at least now with the guy that we traded for, what's the cat's name?
Jamie Drysdale.
Drysdale at least was on the ice the fucking next day.
Yeah, I watched
so,
the game last night.
It makes that wound feel a lot like it sucked because we gassed up Gauthier a lot last week, and we all were like, yeah, like between him coming back and then we got Mitchkov in the year or two, like, damn, we have a young stud crew. Here we go. But Drysdale, I mean, hey, made that trade. Gauthier pretty much is out of sight, out of mind. He never impacted the team yet at all from that standpoint.
Yeah.
And this young buck is already out here like, I fucking love it here. Like, as soon as I touched a puck, they gave me a little standing of it. Like, they were clapping, they were cheering, like, it felt great, and we won. They said, like, would you feel more comfortable if we flew your parents out for your first game? He's like, yeah. And they did. Like,
there.
Yeah,
you know,
the organization, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know what the fuck was up this guy's ass, but it's not like the team doesn't want you to be a part of something big here, and it's going to take growing pains and whatever. But this other guy, he gets it. And I'm glad that he's kind of accepted that role. And I'm glad he's a defenseman, too, because every hit for the next couple of weeks, he'll be at home. I mean, it'll be electric in there. And especially when he lays out fucking Bitch Boy one day.
Yeah,
that's going to be great.
Season.
He should just drop glove right off the bat and be sick.
But yeah, that is a good point you bring up, that he's a defenseman, right? Because obviously the Flyers rebuild. We know that Mitchkov's coming over. He's going to be a first-line forward for years to come, at least we hope.
Mm-hmm.
Gauthier was supposed to be our first-line center, our other first-line forward. Obviously not going to happen now. But the Flyers also had a hole at first pair defenseman, pair of right-handed defenseman.
Big time.
So, yeah, could this potentially set the rebuild back if Drysdale doesn't reach his upside? For sure, but the upside's there. We saw in his first game. He's a really good player.
Let's just ride this wave for a minute.
He can skate really well.
You figure you can fill the hole.
He's only 21.
The hole you had at defense, and yeah, I mean it is hard to find a first line forward in the NHL draft, but maybe that's something you can sign in free agency. You can get in a trade. Whereas finding that right-handed defenseman is just as hard.
It helps out Carter Hart, and it's not the sexiest pickup, but like I said, it's a needed pickup. And you got Konechny playing lights out. You know what I mean?
And like the fact that he has all this upside is encouraging, because like if you've seen like what they've been able to do with the rest of their defensemen this year with Brad Shaw, one of their assistant coaches who's in charge of the defense, like he's been able to turn like Rasmus Ristolainen, who looked like the past couple of years looked like he barely even belonged in the NHL. Like he's like a solid second pair guy. Sandheim's having like probably the best year of his career
for sure.
Fucking Walker looks nice. He's gonna probably
get Zamula's been pucking.
Yeah, like he's like really been able to coach these guys up. So like, I mean, I'm hoping that like he doesn't leave for a head coaching job. But if they're able to keep him and get him to coach him up, like you know, he could be real nice.
Yeah. So fuck Gauthier.
Yeah. Gauthier can kiss my left cheek on Broad Street, and then he can kiss the right one on Patterson Ave. Dude, miss me with his ass.
But you know what? The fact that like Gauthier's gone is just solidified the fact that this is gonna be fucking Mitchkov's team, baby.
Hell yeah!
It's gonna be like this, baby. This is the thing. We got like I don't want going forward. No more drafting these college kids. I don't want any more of these spoiled college kids. No more of these. No more spoiled Yankee pig dogs. I don't want to hear anything about Boston College. I don't want to hear anything about Michigan or North Dakota. I don't want to hear about the Frozen Four. Fuck all that bullshit. You want to play for the Flyers, you better be wrestling grizzly bears. You better be drinking vodka since you were 5 years old. You better have killed a guy by the time you get drafted.
Hunting moose.
Yeah, you better have a pet moose. You better like these. You're Canadian or whatever. They gotta like leave your family and start playing in junior hockey when you're like can barely walk. Not dealing with any of this. No more United States Development Program. I don't want to hear about any of that. No more of these suburban fucking spoiled kids.
I wish we had a flag drop in the background.
No more.
That would be great.
I don't want to hear about some top prospect who grew up in fucking Arizona or fucking Florida.
They got no ice over there.
Yeah, fucking ice.
Yeah, it doesn't get cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to be coming from Siberia.
I want your dad's name to be Igor.
Yeah. I want you to
Your dad better be named Igor,
Yeah, I
and
want
your
you to
mom
have
better
a-
be named like Helga
Yeah.
or some shit.
I want you to have read the entire works of Fyodor Dostoevsky. You better know all about Raskolnikov and Crime and Punishment and the Brothers Karamazov.
It's a collective work unit, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Damn.
I want you eating rats like they had to do during the siege of Leningrad. That's what this team needs,
Better
man.
be a Bolshevik, you know what
And
I'm saying?
Mishkov, our boy Matvey, he's coming, baby. That's a man. He wants to be a flyer.
Who's our Russian goalie?
Kolosov.
Kolosov.
Hell yeah.
Who's Fedotov?
He's also a goalie, but he's not coming over because he got fucked.
He got fucked by a bear?
He tried to evade service, and they're never gonna let him come over now.
Oh, now he's
but as
locked
long
in.
as that war's gonna be over soon, you know. So I don't think we gotta worry about Mishkov getting drafted or having to do any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, we did need a flag drop for
But
that.
anyway,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know. Sorry, Pat. I know you're.
I know, as a
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, I let it
Damn,
slide.
dude.
As a Ukrainian, I let that shit slide, but I understood the precipice of what we were doing here, so I got it. I understood the assignment. I let it go. One day you'll get a Ukrainian cat, and we'll be doing the fucking
Hey man,
Ukrainian
yeah, we
song.
can get some of those, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But damn. Anyway, it is a really good song. You know what that song is? The national anthem we think of all the time though. What's the movie with what is it when he's on board? He's the president. Oh, fucking, is it Air Force One? What's the president's plane called?
Air Force One.
Yeah.
Yeah, with it's not Kevin Costner.
So
He's
with
the
Harrison
president.
Ford?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And they let that guy out of prison, and they play the national anthem.
Oh,
He's like
yeah,
coming
yeah,
out, and they're
yeah.
like, "Get his ass!" and they kill him in the square.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great scene. But yeah, man, Mishkov's team, baby.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
Bring him over.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword where it's like, you know, there's kind of like no rules, and are they gonna let him come? Are they not? Like, I think he'll be fine. But on the other hand, if it's gonna be all this like loose and kind of no rules, like, can we just? I mean, we are owned by Comcast. The one nice thing about having a team owned by a wealthy evil corporation is like we got that paper. So why don't they just send a guy over there with a big duffel bag full of cash? Just go to the
Just
owner.
buy him out.
Just go to the owner of the ska team and just like hand him a big duffel bag full. It's just like a duffel bag full of cash, and there's like an AK-47 in there.
Yeah.
just as like a nice little like gesture.
Maybe some new technology
Just be like,
to help
"Look,
them out
man."
with.
Like, what's it gonna take? Like, give me a number.
We got it.
I'm not worried about
What's
it.
the exchange rate like from U.S. to Russia? Our money's probably worth more than theirs,
Are they
right?
still on the ruble?
I think so.
Yeah, our
I think
money's
that's
probably
what it
worth
is.
more than
Way
theirs.
better.
Yeah.
We got so many sanctions. We crippled their economy a couple of years ago. That's why they started all these fucking wars.
True. Good point.
Come on
Yeah.
now. But
We'll see.
yeah, man, we'll see. But you know that kid's
I think
got some
even
big old
I mean, I
balls.
think like worst case scenario, he finishes out his contract and comes over, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Flyers, baby.
Hell yeah.
New age of orange.
I mean,
Oh, I guess last thing. Shout out Travis Konechny, man.
Yeah, man.
Made the All-Star team.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's been pucking.
I was at that game when they announced it. The place went nuts. It was good. And he scored a goal
Yeah.
like, right after that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, he had
cool,
like a shorthand goal that game, I think.
Yeah, he got 21
Yeah.
goals,
We
16
lost that game,
assists,
Yeah.
5 shorthanded goals. He's been playing great, dude.
Even
Good for him. Well deserved. And as we said a few weeks ago, don't trade him.
no. Mm-mm. Especially
Yeah.
now that you lose, especially, he could be that next centerpiece too, to have
Yeah.
him on that offense.
Yeah,
But-
it should be around for a while.
He been pucking.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to throw that in there before he moved on. Shout out Konechny. I've loved Konechny since his days in the minors, dude. I always knew he was going to be better than Provorov when they were both coming up. I always knew that.
Yeah,
Provorov can kiss my ass, too.
yeah, dude. Yeah, it's great. It's nice that it was kind of fitting that Drysdale makes his debut as number 9 on Pride Night.
Yeah.
It was just
Damn.
like he's like the anti-Provorov. So
at
yeah,
that.
I'll take that.
Full circle. Full rainbow.
We don't have a whole lot of time, so I don't know if maybe we can leave the six. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on with the Sixers. Maybe,
There's some Sixers talk.
man,
Embiid's
I
injured.
just want to talk about the tunnels.
Well, yeah, we'll keep the Sixers talk brief. So the Sixers haven't been playing great. Embiid,
It's all that rushing into your head.
Embiid had his 30-10 streak going into that game against the Knicks.
Oh, yeah. The streak's alive, baby.
Bangs knees early in the game. They start getting their asses kicked. Bring him back in the fourth quarter so you can keep the streak alive. He hasn't played a game since.
Yep.
He's slated to miss tomorrow's game. His ninth missed game of the year.
Pretty much kiss that MVP.
Yeah, he can only miss
Which I'm
7
fine
more
with.
games.
Which I think is okay. I don't think we can get hung up on the MVP.
It would have been
miss.
fun to see him win 2 in a row, but it doesn't really matter to me.
You know, by the grace of God, if he figures it out and fucking goes on a crazy run and does it, cool. But, like, we want to win playoff games and get that man a ring in Philly to keep him here. I think that he got the MVP last year. Big sigh of relief. He's playing at an elite level when he does play. You know what I mean? The team really should have won a couple of those games that they gave up in
they
that
should have won that
stretch.
game last night.
So that's kind of defeating more that way. Like, I don't really feel upset when Embiid doesn't play anymore. Terrible coaching thing to have him back in there just to get the streak going.
Yeah, that was stupid.
But that's more sign, though, on the other guys on the team not really, you've had enough opportunities so far this season without Embiid playing to be able to kind of get into a gel and a rhythm. And, to your point a week ago about free agencies coming up, who do they bring in here? That's a clear telltale sign that, okay, Embiid hasn't played and you're losing to people like fucking Atlanta, you know what I mean? You're losing to teams that you should be beating like that,
Right.
even without Embiid. In the playoffs, inevitably, you're going to have Embiid out a game
That's
or two.
what I've been saying. Yeah.
So you need to step it up. But, I think that the MVP, I think I'm beyond that. I'm looking ahead to, hopefully him missing a lot of games in the regular season maybe is a promise to a healthier postseason, because he could probably get what would be the most games in the postseason? 21 in a row?
Yeah, you figure 3 7-game series, right? The quarterfinals, semi-finals, 28.
Maybe it's 5, 7, 7, 7?
No, it's 7.
7, 7, 7.
Yeah,
So 28.
Jesus.
So you figure,
That's almost a half a season.
I don't know if he's ever played 28 in a row. I'm sure he has, but I would almost bet money he hasn't in probably the last 2 years.
He might have done it once.
Maybe the last
but
2
yeah.
years, though, he probably hasn't. So if you figure he sits out the most games he ever had in the regular season this season, so he forfeits an MVP for a deeper playoff push, I would take that. I would take an Embiid injury late in the postseason.
My whole thing with the 30-10 streak
Not that I want that to happen.
is, why is that so important that you have to bring him in a blowout when he banged knees? Like, that probably made this injury that he's dealing with right now worse. He didn't have to come in after he banged knees and you're down 40 points.
I'd also
You know what I'm
like
saying?
to.
That was so stupid. The MVP should take priority over the 30-10 streak. Making the play, or we're going to make the playoffs regardless, but being a 2 seed or higher should take precedence over winning the MVP. And obviously, making the finals should take precedence over all of that.
I also
it's like they
feel
put
like
the 30-10 streak in front of everything else.
the 30-10 streak too, like the other, he's up against Kareem and Wilt. I will say, are those all consecutive games so that they had that streak going?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
And-
that's the idea behind the streak. But yeah,
No, but
they probably
Embiid-
weren't sitting out getting hurt.
But technically,
Yeah.
though, like Embiid's,
He's cheating.
I feel like a streak doesn't count if you haven't played
yeah,
for
he's
3 weeks in a
cheating.
row.
It's also
like-
just such an arbitrary, like, who
It's-
cares?
it's also
it's
a
just
lot
like a
easier.
made
No,
up.
but it's just but the point of a streak is that you do it every single game that you play in a row.
Yeah,
And if
he
you
hasn't
sit
been
out
playing every game.
8 games
Yeah.
during the streak, is it really a streak? No, because you're resting up, you're getting healthy. Then you play a shitty team and you're healthy. You go 35 and 15.
Yeah,
you get
this-
hurt. You sit out against the fucking
The streak like that usually it doesn't involve getting blown out by the Knicks.
I don't at this point. I think it doesn't carry the same weight. I think it's amazing. I love watching the guy play. There's no knock on that, but I think that the whole streak thing is like James Harden, when he had that 40-point game streak, had it because he had 8 games in a row of 40 points. He didn't sit out 1 week and then do it again,
Yeah.
and then they count that as a streak. Like, it's consecutive games played. And you can't count a game that you didn't play. It's like a starting streak. You didn't start, so it cancels the whole streak out.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
I
stupid.
think the whole thing was dumb. They just cared about it way too much, and that's why the Sixers are where they are now, where they're solidly in the 3 seed. The Bucks aren't too far ahead, although the Bucks just destroyed the Celtics by like 33 points.
When it was 40 when we left.
Yeah, they won by 33.
Oh, okay.
I checked. But yeah, the Sixers are solidly in the 3 seed. If they had managed this a little better, maybe they have potential to get up to the 2. But thing you got to worry about is the Knicks made that trade. The Knicks beat our ass. The Heat are on our heels. The Cavs are playing pretty good. I could see a scenario where the Sixers do fall into a 4 seed. And
Donovan Mitchell put up 45 tonight.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Sixers, they need to make a move because otherwise they're going to end up the 3 seed or worse. And not the end of the world this season. I mean, you go in the off season with cap space and you can make moves, but the way this season started, it'd be disappointing to end it with a 4 seed and another first or second round
It'd
exit.
be a classic Philadelphia
Yeah.
finish, though. That way you start off hot and you just go off into the sunset, banged up. And
Yep, you'd be just like the Eagles.
you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Could be.
All right, we can get to your damn tunnels.
Dude, I mean,
It is funny.
probably one of the funniest stories of the year. We haven't had a real funny story. Like, I mean, this is up there with like the submersible in terms of
that
just
shit
how
was great.
funny it
I
is.
miss the submarine talk.
The
Yeah, the submarine talk was gold.
yeah, but the tunnels,
Right after the Russian song, he's like, "How about the tunnels with the Jews?" You're like, "What the fuck?" We were pushing it.
But oh man, this is so funny. I'm still like not completely clear on what for people who don't know what we're talking about. If you somehow didn't see this, there was apparently connected to a synagogue in Brooklyn. There were these tunnels that were built.
Legit tunnels
Like tunnels going out into the street.
next to the buildings. Next
I've
to
seen
them
like
too.
a couple like theory. Like I guess they started this like during COVID, but I don't know if it was really because of COVID.
I think it was because they couldn't
couldn't
legally
go out.
go to synagogue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone was really stopping them from gathering there. Like, but
I'm sure
You
they're
couldn't- you couldn't even
in the heart
church-
of COVID. People,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
people were
Religious
definitely
I think
activities
there was
shut
like
down.
some story, some angle to it where it was like they were trying to like be able to tunnel like near like some former, I don't know if it was like a former like rabbi's house or someone who they considered like a very like important like figure or
Well,
something.
they own like that part. Like they have their own like laws and like.
Oh yeah, well,
they got their own shit going down over there.
That
It's
like
kind of crazy.
I mean it's almost like the Amish, you know,
They're
like
the
they have like
Hasidic.
their own.
They're Hasidic
They are
Yeah,
very
Hasidic,
much
yeah.
like the Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
It's
the big
like-
fuzzy hats.
Yeah.
Yo, I hung out in Crown Heights, or not. I've like haven't. This is like the Japanese thing all over again.
Oh, boy.
I've hung out in Crown Heights before.
I played with a couple of
I played video games with Hasidic characters.
Nah, I've hung out in Crown Heights before on
Mortal
weekends.
Kombat.
Yeah, they are wild with that shit though, right? Though, like
Hey,
they're like
Oh,
really
yeah. I
strict
mean, I used to-
about like not using electricity and not like
Oh, like on Saturdays.
having a walk around. I forget what the term
well,
is.
that's why they had to make
I
the
did-
tunnels because
yeah.
they
So,
couldn't walk around and
they-
walk into the thing.
Yeah,
'cause
they couldn't be
Yeah,
seen
so
walking.
they,
Right? Yep.
so they could.
Yeah.
So
they were
they are
cheating.
strict with that. Yep.
But,
They
like,
couldn't be caught cheating.
Yeah,
that-
but they
dude,
found
that-
out about that shit though.
That fucking the video of the guy like coming out of
Yeah.
the grate on the
Yeah.
one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, dude, can you imagine like if you had like a friend or like a relative or someone who like in the past few years has kind of like gotten sucked into the Trump era right wing conspiracy stuff, and he's just like one of these guys that's like going on about how like, oh, you know, the Jews like control the media, blah blah, blah. And you're trying to like convince them that like, no, dude, come on, like don't like calm down about that, like it's not true, like blah blah blah. And then and then there's a video
They find a tunnel.
of like some Hasidic guy crawling out of the ground, and it's just like, god damn it, like what the fuck, dude.
Yeah,
And also there was like a video too of like, I guess it was like inside the synagogue where they had like the entrance to the tunnel that was like plugged up by like a, I don't know, something, and they like tore it down.
pews.
Yeah, and then there was just cops just dragging
Yeah.
like the guys out of the tunnel.
These guys,
It's like,
a couple of other people in there were like only like 4 or 5 cops showed up at first, and then like all these
Yeah.
guys like throwing pews and benches at the cops and like dancing and singing in the
Oh yeah,
background.
that
like,
riot was crazy.
yeah,
Dude,
they
oh
were
my
also
God.
when the cops came, they were filling the tunnels with concrete at the time. Like shit was
Like, we had to fill it up.
there's more to this than just like a passageway in and out. Like something was going down
What
up
do you
in
think
these
they're doing
tunnels.
down there?
I don't know. I'm not part of that tribe,
Getting
but
drunk.
something was popping off. Something was
They're
not.
probably using electricity down there on weekends.
It wasn't kosher.
they
I'll tell you
like to
that.
party.
Wasn't kosher.
Yeah, they
were doing-
do get bucked.
They
dude.
do get buck, yeah.
You ever seen them things where they start dancing on the side of the pews
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all their hats and shit? Just
But-
all the dudes rocking, no women, just men, just
Yeah,
Rocking
just
out with their little cocks
it's
out.
a true dudes rock
Yeah,
community.
that is some dudes rock shit right there.
Oh man, but did you see the video of that one like cop that's getting like, and he's just like trying to explain to people why like they can't. It's like, and he's just like, no, we plug it in. He's like this like fucking like just like Italian as fuck like New York cop. It was just so funny. And then at one point he's just like, no, we don't do that in America.
Well,
So
it's not
fucking
easy
funny.
to say that. Yeah, well, we found a. Who's gonna be the cops? Like, yeah, we found all these Jews in a tunnel, and we had to move them out of here.
Yeah, that ain't a good
That
look.
ain't- you can't- in this client can't be. You know what I mean? That fuck that. I'm
like,
like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna let Trevor talk about
Yeah,
this.
it's like
right
we're
now.
doing. He's like, I'm gonna try. It's like, yeah, he's like on the phone with like the sergeant. It's like, I'm gonna try to explain this as sensibly as I can.
He immediately
We
starts
found
sweating.
some Jews in a
Yeah.
tunnel.
Oh, Jesus.
Just immediately
In the
starts
tunnel.
profusely sweating. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
just
fired
like-
today. This is it.
Oh my god.
But the video is insane. I don't know how the hell those cameras up in there, but they were like they were beating the shit out of these cops with pews.
Yeah,
and
they were
all
wild,
kind of
dude.
shit. They were like happy. It was wild.
Like I said, 2024, the year of violence.
Well, because the
man.
guy that
It's so funny.
someone owned the building next to the synagogue, and he was trying to sell it, and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then like found this random tunnel, and was like, "What the fuck?" And then they started backfilling it up, and he was like, "Hold
Dude.
on, like what is going on?"
Yeah.
Then the
Dude,
cops.
I saw someone posted there was like a guy on Twitter who like months ago made this post, and he was just like, this is gonna sound crazy, but like I live on the ground floor of my apartment in New York. I'm on like the first floor, ground floor, and I hear people underneath me like speaking Yiddish. And everyone's like, what the fuck? This guy's fucking crazy. And then this comes out and he's like, I was right.
You watch too many Tarantino movies. He's
Yeah.
like, "No, I swear to God, I swear
Oh
to
my god, dude, it's so funny, dude. I would love I wish there would have been like a press conference with our boy Eric Adams.
Oh,
See what
man.
he has to say about.
he hasn't spoken out.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if there's really that much to say. I mean, I feel like the
I
situation.
don't think they want him to be on the mic. They're like,
But-
let's just let
Yeah.
this thing sort
He's
itself
like,
out here.
yeah, New York is it's a really incredible place because you could one moment you could be buying a nice tasty knish from a street vendor, and the next moment you see a man with the funny hat coming out of the sewer.
That shit, wild, man. Absolutely wild.
Oh fuck! It's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
York.
so we don't
It's one of
know
the
what
funny-
these tunnels were for exactly. We
They
still
start
don't
filling
know.
them up.
They're
Telling
still yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever find out the true reason.
That's
for
why
it.
they started
Right.
pouring that concrete up in that bitch. They were like, we don't want anyone to find
I
it.
mean,
They were
what-
doing some shiesty shit. You know, they do some sneaky shit down
Dude,
there.
it might, like I said, like it might have just been like a sort of like a dudes rock thing where you're just like hanging out with your boys one day and you decide to start digging a little bit and you get
think
more
they-
into you get more and more into it, and then it just becomes like a project in and of itself just for its own.
Damn.
There's nothing that need to be a reason. It's just
Dudes
like
do love
we
digging.
we just like dig. Yeah,
True.
dudes do love digging.
Yeah.
Just to be like digging. It's like maybe we can dig this further. Maybe we can dig it further. And like, what if it went up to the street? Like,
Yeah.
just like,
To
like
the
they just
synagogue.
got they just
I
got
would
really
probably
into
do
it.
something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, if we all could connect to everybody's house that we liked
Yeah, it would
with
be
a
cool to
tunnel,
build
it'd be
a
kind
tunnel
of
from
house to
sick.
Dude,
house,
yeah. Imagine
yeah.
if like if
No
it's
rain,
like when it's
no
really
cold.
exactly when it's
Yeah.
really shitty outside. If I could just like
we could
walk
just be
from my house to
partying in
your
the
house.
tunnel,
Yeah.
getting buck. We could record
Yeah.
the pod in a tunnel.
Oh, the echo, the acoustics in that. Hello.
Oh, hell
hello.
yeah.
Damn. Have a little club tunnel.
All I'm saying is, man, they better not be going. I hope they weren't using that just to go to synagogue, man.
No, it doesn't seem like they were just using it first.
I
That's
don't
why they
think so because
started.
they were already having like huge gatherings during COVID, and like I think like the New York government is just like whatever, like
Because they got their own laws and shit
I
up
don't-
in that town.
yeah,
in the
they're like their
area.
own little like almost like it's almost like an
Community.
autonomous like yeah.
Okay.
You know, obviously like live in New York and are subject to the laws or whatever.
Nah, but
like,
people
kinda
don't be
not
fucking
really-
with them. People don't fuck with that area though a lot that way.
Yeah, it's just
The
like
law, I will say.
whatever. Yeah, it's just like you guys do what you're doing, I guess.
It's like that clip of the guy that had the people living next door. He's like, dead giveaway. He's like, I saw them people in that tunnel, dead giveaway. I saw that girl in that house.
But dude, it's funny. I don't know if you've ever seen a few years ago. There was, I guess they were having like the New York like marathon or whatever. And there was this video that was going around of like the Hasidic guys just like trying to cross the street, and they're just like
Yeah.
dodging around the runners. And it was, and like maybe that was the impetus for like starting the tunnel.
That would make sense.
So they don't have to deal with all all these fucking goys like running around
They were
the
like,
street.
Dip, dive, dutch, and dodge.
That was so fucking funny.
Damn. But yeah, Brooklyn's in shambles. Wherever they're at.
Yeah, Crown Heights. Crown Heights is all right.
Yeah, I was around in that area when I went up to New York. I don't know. I guess it was a couple months ago when I was supposed
You
to
in
get
them
the
tunnels?
chairs.
You didn't check out the tunnels?
I didn't check out the tunnels. No,
Yo.
didn't know about them.
Now you gotta
If I would've
ask.
known,
now
now I
we
gotta.
know we gotta go.
Now you gotta
Yeah,
ask.
now we gotta
You
check
know,
out those tunnels.
I mean, that's just the first synagogue that got hit. It could be, there could be
it could be all
multiple.
over.
There could be
Yeah.
tunnels everywhere.
Yeah, Crown Heights isn't the only place in Brooklyn with synagogues, man.
It'd be
could
funny if,
be-
like, people
they're
just
the
start,
first ones to
people
get
just start
caught.
going around to like synagogues all over the country, just like
Everyone's like,
just touching the walls and like just tapping and seeing if there's a little echo
On some
somewhere.
Underground Railroad shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's a secret trap door under there.
I'll take a tour, please. You're like, let me see what's going on up in here real quick. But again, slippery, slippery
you, like,
slope.
go
You
there-
can't be investigating. You know what I mean? You,
like,
can't be
you
looking
take
too hard.
You
at
like
the
go
synagogue.
there and like volunteer to like take a tour of the synagogue because you're like pretending that you're Jewish and thinking about joining the synagogue. It's like, yeah, I'm interested. My family just moved to this area and I'm interested.
Yeah.
in maybe
You keep
joining
lighting
your synagogue.
matches.
And you're like the whole time they're showing you around, you're all constantly like touching shit, like
It's
trying
like,
to find the
oh,
tunnels.
oops, sorry, I almost fell.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just
You open the whole book.
I thought this vent looked interesting over here.
You put all the books off looking for the trap
I
door.
wanted to make sure that the synagogue that I was going to bring my family to is very well ventilated, so I wanted to check out this little air duct over here.
You take a step and like stomp real hard and
Yeah,
punch a
just
hole in the
stomping up the
floor.
ground, yeah.
Like, oh, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
There's a real great in here. It's really nice in here.
Dude, you just like show up there, just really overplaying the part. Like it's just like a normal synagogue, but you like show up there with the full like the gear, with like the full like suit and the
big
tassels
fur
and all that
hat.
shit. And it's like,
fake beard.
yes, I'm interested.
The hat's like 3 feet tall. You're like, wow, where is
Yeah.
it? They're like,
just the hat
that's
too
way
big?
too big.
Yeah.
You didn't reach that level yet. Yeah, man. I don't know. That shit was wild. It was a good week for random ass content. Like you said, people woke up this year and
Yeah,
chose
it's the year of
violence, man.
violence, dude.
There's also the guy swimming in the Bass Pro Shops.
What is this
aquarium.
all about? I didn't see
You didn't
this.
see that?
I
There's
didn't
a
see
guy
that.
in like like the Bass Pro. I don't think they really have any around here. Probably in like the Poconos or
I've
something.
seen
Like
them in
Cabela's?
like
Bass Pro Shop.
I've seen them in
Bass
like
Pro
the
Shop?
Midwest.
They're like really
yeah.
they're huge.
I drove by them in the Midwest
But I guess
before.
I guess they have like these big like aquarium
They
setups in
do.
there. And there was some guy, I don't know where this was exactly, but he just like just got naked and like jumped in there.
That's a good way to get your
And-
dick
and-
freaking bit off by
and-
a fucking catfish. So I'll tell you what.
Well, when they dragged him out and like that, I will say this man had a unfortunately small penis from doing
They
a.
probably got gnawed on by
doing-
catfish. They
I
probably
don't know,
gnawed
I
it
think it
down
was
he
to
2
said,
inches.
"Damn, that water is chilly. Hold up, I gotta get out of here real quick."
Yeah.
I will say they got like fishing equipment. They got camping stuff. Good,
Yo, Cabela, if it's like Cabela's are right.
guns. There's like a random
LLB.
gun alley up in
Oh,
there.
I'm sure they
too.
got guns in
Yeah.
there. Fishing.
It always has
It
a
all
weird
goes together.
smell in there, but yeah, they got everything in there.
Yeah. I feel like I've driven by a couple Bass Pro Shops, but I've never been in one. I've never had any reason to go.
When we went camping up the
not
one
really my
time in the
thing.
summertime for like 4th of July, there's a Cabela's up that way.
Yeah, there's a
We
bunch.
went to that one like state park.
Yeah, there's a Cabela's up
Yeah.
the Poconos. There's a bunch up and down the East Coast. They're pretty prevalent in the Midwest. I went to one, dude. It's I think it's in I forget what part of Michigan it is. It's outside of Lansing, Michigan. And there's a giant statue of 2 golden bears fighting.
Damn.
Me and Noel, my friend Noel, shout out Noel. We took a picture in front of the golden bears.
Hell yeah.
This statue's massive. They're like 50 feet tall.
Damn.
Shit's wild. They take that shit serious in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
they love hunting and shit like that. Fishing, hunting,
Yeah.
drinking, smoking, snorting.
But yeah, my man swimming naked in the Bass Pro Shop aquarium, he didn't choose violence. You know what he chose? Nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it-
2024 is about to
It's
be the
like-
year of
Unless you
nudity
saw him out
as
there
well.
punching that fish,
Pretty
they said,
much the opposite of violence, unless you're like
You
an
could be
ancient
a-
Greco-Roman wrestler.
You could be a sumo wrestler. They basically are naked.
they're pretty
Yeah.
much butt ass naked.
Sumo
lot of-
wrestling's pretty
They got
cool.
way more skin showing than. Well, wait, never mind. Yeah, it's violent.
Have you ever thought about the idea that maybe they should get a sumo wrestler to be an NHL goalie because he just
It would just-
occupies the entire space
Yeah.
of the goal?
That wouldn't be.
He doesn't have to move.
They would
Nah,
try to
but that-
outlaw it like the tush push.
That little gut,
Yeah.
that little alleyway though, the little
Plus his
5-hole.
5-hole, he ain't flexible.
That's a big ass 5-hole.
What if he's just so? I don't know. If he just sat on his ass, just with his legs kind of out like at 45 degrees.
That's
and
a tough strain on the body.
Took out the whole
it's a
space?
big bitch you got sitting there all day.
Plus, man, what if he gets hit in like the balls? You know what I'm saying? What if someone shoots a puck his 5-hole? It hits his balls.
Oh, you have some kind of protection.
You ain't hitting no fucking balls
He's
like
got
that.
he's got the stick there. He's got the stick.
They got that big ass front.
Right in
They ain't
front.
hitting no butt balls.
Yeah, I guess
His
that
balls
is a hefty fupa.
He's got the safest balls in the fucking league.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
sits there. You
that's
got
fair.
like a few inches to squeeze the puck in on the corners. That's about it.
It's not a bad idea.
I will.
But as I said last week, the only sumo's Japanese, right?
I think.
I don't know. This is your territory. I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Yeah,
but
never mind. Let me stop that.
I think it's Japanese.
Samurai is Japanese.
That's true.
Yeah, ninjutsu
That I know.
Samurai,
Japanese.
Seven Samurai.
Yes.
But I don't. There's not many Asian hockey players. You know what I'm saying?
No.
There's Suzuki, who we saw last night on the Habs.
Yeah.
But not like sumo size.
No,
Yeah, he's a skinny
You know what I
bitch.
mean?
some big ones.
But they also train to do like they train just to be.
One of them should train to be a hockey goalie. They'd probably be the best goalie in the league.
I tell you what though, them ankles won't last on skates. It's a lot of strain on them big ass
That's true.
ankles. A lot of weight. One slip, bang, shatter the fucking knee. You can't
I
be
guess
doing
that's
that.
a good point. They can't
Yeah,
be
because-
skating at that weight.
You put all that 400, 500 pounds on
Yeah.
a thin little rail. That's a lot of
Yeah.
strain, man. And
I
if
mean, I
don't
guess
make-
the other thing too is like probably, how you probably would have to score is if you just kind of have like a scrum in the front of the net and people are getting pushed around and
you ain't moving
he'll
that
just
guy.
and
You ain't.
he might, but if it's ice,
He might just fall.
You might just slide a little bit enough to create
He's
an
going to
opening.
fall over. He's going to be rolling over, all stuck on his back and whatnot.
He ain't a turtle. He ain't a fucking. Yeah.
That's it. Well,
This is still a man we're talking about.
but if you're that large, you're not moving.
He's
You're not
still conscious.
If you're that large and you fall on your back, you ain't getting up easy.
Well, no.
Not easy.
We're not that large, so we don't know.
That's. I mean, this is
I don't
true.
know. But these are athletes.
I would imagine. So when they go to
I
bed,
mean, the
they
sumo
can't.
wrestlers, they're standing up and they're
When they go
walking
to bed,
around.
When they go to bed, they can't sleep on their back. They can only sleep on their side. They sleep on their back. They're just stuck there until the next day.
They can't.
Hell.
No, I don't know. I think they have. I bet they have a lot. I don't know. I bet they still have like a lot of like core strength
I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do.
underneath the fat. Like obviously there's a lot of fat.
They're like an offensive
Over-
lineman. That's
Yeah,
true.
there's
think
a
it's
lot
all
of
this
there's a lot of
momentum.
fat covering it, so you don't think about it that way. But underneath they got like a hidden six pack.
I don't
I don't know if I'll
don't
go that
think
far,
so.
but they're probably pretty brolic.
I think
though.
they're all
pretty
just about
strong.
like momentum, like just big bodies of mass. Just
I don't know.
I think it's just momentum shit.
Maybe that's the new. I mean,
Because they do a lot of slapping. They
Maybe-
slap the
I
chest
mean-
a lot. They smack them in the fucking big
It
old
does
titties.
seem like they you could maybe make a transition from sumo wrestler to offensive lineman. It's kind of the same
Have you
kind of
ever seen
motion.
the replacements? Hello.
I actually haven't.
What?
I have, yeah.
Is that
What?
is that in that movie?
There's a sumo wrestler that's a lineman.
Okay.
It's funny.
Well,
They
I
are
didn't even see that
essentially-
movie, and I came up with that all by myself. So
you should watch it.
Sumo wrestlers for offensive linemen, the new market
yeah,
inefficiency.
we already did it with rugby players.
Yeah, but that's different though. They're more athletic. Sumo, you can't.
I'm just saying, this is the next thing. You got to keep ahead of the curve. You got to find the next thing. Maybe sumo
Yeah,
wrestlers
as we
are the
said,
next
if the
thing.
Eagles truly want to be
So-
innovative, they need to go over there and draft a couple sumo wrestlers.
Yeah,
Hey,
go real off the board.
Jason Kelsey retires, move Cam Jurgens to center. There's our new right guard, a
You
sumo
gotta
wrestler.
find and see if fucking Malata's got some boys over there. Bring some of his friends
True.
over
Yeah,
here.
we can get some of his
Fuck
rugby
that,
boys
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
A couple of
Rugby's
them
the way to
probably
go.
play tight end, receiver.
Rugby's the way to go. They're fearless. They're big. They can sing.
You're Australian.
Yeah.
Crikey.
All right, well, I think that's just about going to do it for us here tonight, everybody. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
Go Birds.